I am still finding it very difficult to understand why Nigerians are bewildered by the activities of these schoolchildren at Igninedion Secondary School. I honestly do not understand where the hypocrisy is coming from. These children live in a country that is almost lawless, where politicians and leaders bully their citizens, where powerful private individuals intimidate fellow citizens, and get away with it because, in Nigeria, justice often appears to be for the highest bidder. They live in a country where thugs are used to rig elections, a country where state actors are treated like gods because they work for and are protected by politicians. They live in a country where people like Mama Chukwudi and others were openly told not to come out to vote, a country where machetes and guns were used against innocent citizens on election days, a country where hundreds of innocent Nigerians were allegedly killed at the Lekki toll gate during the Tamer Ensar's protest, and political leaders walked away without consequences. It is a country where violence thrives and is repeatedly used as a political tool. You all seem to have forgotten that these children live in a state where cultism has long been a serious problem. Even though the government is now demolishing houses belonging to suspected cultists, it cannot deny the fact that some of those same elements still find shelter within political structures. They live in a state where individuals have been publicly celebrated for slapping fellow citizens. They live in a state where the governor once threatened that a presidential aspirant should not enter the state without his permission, otherwise his safety could not be guaranteed. When the aspirant eventually came, violence broke out, and to this day there has been no meaningful investigation, only accusations and counter-accusations. A tortoise cannot grow a hard shell and expect its offspring to grow the shell of a snail. It will never happen. What do you expect in a society where 1 in every 10 or 20 parents is alleged to be violent or exhibit violent tendency? What kind of children do you expect to come out of such an environment? Responsible school owners, such as the proprietor of Cavalry Crown Academy, a former Edo State governorship aspirant, have long been crying out about how many parents today spoil their children, disobey school rules, and even threaten school authorities. Nobody listened. Every day we watch parents storm into schools to either beat up teachers or have them arrested simply because they disciplined their children. Meanwhile, many school owners look the other way because they are more concerned about school fees. Today we are simply witnessing the seeds that everyone, including politicians, has sown. Furthermore, the school itself failed in many respects. A school of the standard of Igninedion Secondary School should not have abandoned buildings of that nature with open doors, almost as if the stage had been set for students to conduct initiation ceremonies. There was clearly inadequate safeguarding, and the level of complacency is alarming. For this reason, I would advise all the parents involved, both those of the victims and those of the perpetrators, to consider legal action against the school for safeguarding failures. It is one thing for parents to raise their children properly. It is another for a school to ensure that the environment does not enable bullying or violent behavior. In this case, the school practically prepared the stage. Everyone failed, from the principal to the security personnel. They all failed. Above all, the Nigerian political class, who empower thuggery and often use state actors to carry out their bidding, have also failed, until there is sanity in the broader society, a calmer political atmosphere, respect for the rule of law, and the placement of competent and responsible people in positions of authority. Incidents like this will continue to occur. What we have seen in Igninedion Secondary School may only be the tip of the iceberg compared to what is happening in other schools across Edo State and Nigeria as a whole. This is a systemic problem that will be extremely difficult to solve, much like corruption among the political class. Sadly, Nigerian leaders have repeatedly demonstrated that they do not truly value the lives of their citizens.